Welcome back to the Two Guys, 4 Cents podcast, where we work on normalizing conversation in the most objective way possible that we can. The end.
Affirmative.
Can confirm. Eric, so last week we said that this episode, in the next maybe couple episodes, will be on mental health because there's a whole lot to cover.
And I just want to also say that I would assume this won't also be the last episodes we touch on mental health. Mental health is such a vast field that we can talk about it a lot. But we're gonna definitely crack down on it now. But it's definitely something I would say we're returning.
We're definitely returning to it, and I'm sure this podcast too. Like, just because we do a podcast on something, that's not the end of it.
Right.
We'll keep touching it.
Got to follow up, baby.
So yeah, mental health. More specifically on mental health, it's about meaning, finding your meaning, finding your purpose.
It's so important to do that.
It's going to be about establishing a routine.
Like if, let's say, if life was like Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, the main campaign in your life.
All I can think of is Oblivion.
Yeah. So like the
got some wares.
The main mission is to, I would say, in life is to find meaning. Yeah. And the rest are side quests.
There you go.
And a bunch of NPCs.
Doesn't need to be Elder Scrolls. It can be an RPG because we don't discriminate here.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So
Big fanboy.
Mental health, finding your purpose, finding your meaning, maintaining the main quest of your life. Here's our 2 cents.
Can I tell you something, Steven?
Go ahead and tell me something, Eric, because I'm here for an hour listening to you anyways.
Zoom into my face. Hello, darkness.
Mild.
That's it. I want to talk about routine and the importance of routine.
Yeah.
And I want to share an observation I've made with my own life.
Okay.
Regarding routine.
Okay.
And I'm going to take my fitness routine and blow it up and get into it.
Okay.
So, for example, every time I'm in my fitness routine, whether it's I had tried something new with all of COVID going on, and I was going at the gym at 5 a.m. for the first time in my life. I've never.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was the energy that I had throughout the day.
I remember you saying that a lot. The main thing you got from it was the energy you have.
But honestly, I had like so much energy, like too much energy.
Yeah, really.
Because like at night, like I couldn't fall asleep. I was like still wired.
That's
for some
crazy.
Reason.
Maybe because you were
really weird.
Maybe were you passing your circadian rhythm and staying up? How late were you staying up roughly? Because I know when it comes to a point, you get past the tiredness up into a certain point again, and you get tired again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I didn't dig into it that much, but I just know I was just full of energy all the time.
Yeah. Which
is not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
So I definitely like morning routines would be fun to get back into, but I've mostly done like after work routines. Like after work I go to the gym or do a workout at home or whatever, yoga or whatever it is. It's always been after my work day. And one thing I've noticed whenever I'm in a routine, especially a fitness routine, I'm feeling my best.
Yeah.
And whenever I look at milestones in my life or just generally in my life, whenever I'm at, I guess, a peak or either like a trend of feeling content, and being satisfied, and just being generally more happier.
You can tell when you are, right?
Oh,
not
for
necessarily in it, but after the fact too, you can tell when
for
you were
sure.
in
You
your
can
peak.
reflect back and you can pinpoint certain things. And one of the things I pinpointed was every time I feel really good is when I'm in my workout routine.
Yeah. Not necessarily in the morning, or was it specifically in the morning?
No, just
in general.
Just as long as I'm physically active, like let's say like either walking, like daily nice walks, like at a nice pace.
So that was going to be my second question. It doesn't matter when either, just as long as you're incorporating it?
For me,
yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I just feel better overall, my mental health is better.
Well, I mean, you feel better about yourself too.
Is more. I have a clearer vision of things, and my brain is less foggy.
Yeah, you feel better about yourself because you don't have the thing. I know when I don't work out, you have the thing weighing over you constantly about like, oh, I should be working out.
Yeah. It's always at the back of your mind and things like that.
So it's relieving that pressure from you as well.
Right.
And I mean, like, so working out, generally, I feel like it has like you need to be lifting heavy weights and get jacked.
Dude, thank you so much.
Because we talked about it a little bit in the social media episode.
We did, yeah.
But working out, I don't like. Let's get away from the word working out. Let's do exercise.
Physically active.
Yeah, physically active. Okay.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Because that's what it is, right? It's not working out because of the connotation that it has.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. There is a negative connotation when you talk about working out because everyone just automatically thinks of iron and testosterone and just, things that doesn't turn on everyone.
No,
which is like fair enough.
And people,
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to get away from that because there's just so many creative ways you can be active.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
absolutely.
Like one of the love I've developed greatly is golf and frolf. Disc
frisbee
golf. So
frolf. That sounds like a made up word.
Oh, it definitely is.
Well, I mean, I guess all words are made up. That's that's deep.
Shit, man. Yeah, no, it's true. And listen, you're not doing sporadic moves. You're throwing. I mean, you're chucking it. Frisbee as far as you can. You're walking
while controlling.
Nature.
You're trying to control. You're not just
right
throwing. You're trying to control it.
Yeah.
Brings in other muscles.
Absolutely. And it develops like having to plan certain things and acting before you.
Yeah.
Or no, planning before you act.
Yeah.
And just little things like that, and being out in nature and being out in the fresh air. It just, man, I feel like it just makes all the difference in the world when you're talking about up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it does. And I mean, as much as, so on that point of sort of routine, as much as I do love, as much as I do enjoy working from home, it's been difficult because of the routine is not necessarily there.
Right.
As much as it would be if you have to get up and go to work.
Right.
I mean, I'm still getting up and going to work, but.
Sure, but it's in your own house and it's kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. Well, especially for you, it's new completely.
Yeah, it is.
So you don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to adapt to something that's completely new.
Exactly.
So.
And I mean, setting a routine too. I don't know if it's like this for everybody. It might be just based on the things you were saying. But it's again something like exercising or being active.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's always in the back of my mind, like, oh, I need to get on a routine.
Right.
And so finally doing it relieves
and relieving
that
pressure. Yeah, for sure. And that relieves with that pressure. I would say a lot of anxiety leaves with it as well.
Absolutely.
Because I would describe in a way, if I would describe anxiety, what it feels like for me, it is pressure. Like it feels pressure on the chest, on the shoulders.
Oh yeah.
That's how I feel anxiety.
Yeah.
And when that is lifted, man, you feel so much lighter.
And there's also
so much easier to smile, so much easier to so.
Yeah, I mean, it almost gets to a point sometimes for me too that it's like, oh, something like when things are going right, and you feel it and there's no weight on you.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like something's wrong.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong.
Right. There's nothing wrong. Why? Because you have a routine.
Yeah.
And which brings me
well, I mean, so when you there's nothing wrong because you have a routine, but a routine doesn't fix all problems.
No. But I would say it's the foundation
of getting on your journey.
Getting on your journey and being mentally healthy.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's what I was about to say is like I would say it's no, you know what? I would say it's not possible to be completely mentally healthy if you don't have a routine going on.
No, I agree. I would,
yeah.
And some sort of a routine too. It doesn't need to be. I mean, the main thing.
To be a communist regime,
communist regime routine. The new regime routine.
Dr. Zayas, man.
But it's. I mean, I feel like to diving in a little more under routine, for me, it's most of it is sleeping and getting up at around the same time,
Right.
which I would consider a full routine.
Yeah. So your internal clock is very happy, and
Like if it was just that, I don't put it this way, I guess. The difference that I notice between no routine like that
right.
and getting my circadian rhythm, going to bed, waking up at the same time, and going from that to from like having a good sleeping routine to working out and getting routine there, I don't notice much more of a difference.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, there's so many types of routines, you know, sleeping routine,
and it's
morning
whatever works for
routine.
you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It varies from each and every single individual, for sure, for sure. All right, Stephen, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the art of negotiating and negotiating for yourself, you know, like keeping yourself in that equation.
Yeah.
And making sure, you know, you're content with either the conversation or what you're getting out of certain things. And also telling the truth. It's a big one.
Yeah, it is a big one.
And it's
telling the truth in general to yourself.
Yeah.
And
being
to other
honest
people
with
as well.
yourself is a big one.
There's a whole thing. So dive a little more, I guess, into negotiating. Maybe give an example.
Yeah, so let's take a very small example because this is what's popping into my head right now. So let's say you're figuring out what to eat, okay?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, no, you pick, I'm easy, you know. Negotiate for yourself. What do you feel like eating?
Yeah.
And propose that idea.
And it that does go hand in hand with being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
absolutely.
If you need to, because a lot of the time, you know, not necessarily about the food. We're not talking about a specific example, but you know what you want. You just need to be honest with yourself and admit it to yourself that that's what you want.
Right. And I feel like, you know, maybe there was a part for sure in my life where I wasn't doing that. But that's something that I'm actively trying to practice.
Yeah.
Is to be honest and negotiate for myself. Yeah. For sure, you know.
Yeah,
and it's not even like, it's not about I want this, so I'm going to get this.
No.
You know?
No.
It's just about, again, making sure your voice has a voice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And just making it known and staying firm.
And standing your ground on what you want. But, I mean, so standing your ground, but not being stubborn. Right? So you're standing your ground on what you want. You're making it known of what you want, but you're also making it known that, okay, maybe in this scenario, that's not necessarily what will happen, and I'm fine with it.
Right.
But being open, it'll reduce problems with not only yourself, but with other people as well, because
for sure.
it'll open communication.
For sure.
So being honest with yourself, but like again, it's a difficult thing to do.
Oh, and it's hard to it's something that you've got to practice, and it's hard to pinpoint, you know, and you'll be left maybe with more questions than you had before when you're starting out to try and find the truth.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I would say that's only natural. And also I would say, you know, when you negotiate, like, I think it would be important to have realistic expectations. Yeah. And realistic, whatever you're negotiating for is realistic. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think those two things would be.
You can believe or set. So this is sort of jumping ahead, but you can set unrealistic goals. Just be realistic, I guess, with your achievement of those goals. To say this is something I'm aiming towards, but it might not necessarily be something that I want, or something that not that I want.
Are you saying like? It might not be something that
I reach.
Yeah. Like that?
I get to. Yeah.
Everyone's different. And if that mindset works for you, it works for you. For sure. But you're being realistic.
Yeah.
Because,
that's true.
Again, yes, you're shooting perhaps for a crazy dream or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also, and you're going to still work hard, but there's always that possibility that, hey, you know what? It's kind of like that saying, shoot for the moon, and even if you don't make it to the moon, you'll land on the stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like that.
But like you said, it's being realistic with yourself as well, because you're being realistic and telling yourself that, I might not get it.
Mm-hmm. So since we're on the topic of goals, let's talk about goals.
Okay.
So, for example, I think sometimes we might put like too much power on goals and not enough power on meaning. So what I mean by that is, one of the things that I realized is that goals, they're not going to create happiness, and they're not going to fix your problems.
No.
But meaning is powerful enough that it can do that. If you find meaning, it can create happiness. It can create a sense of meaning, but it can create a sense of community. Can create anything. Yeah. And I was watching a video with Jordan Peterson, obviously.
Really? Of who?
And he said that one of the most optimistic things that he's found in psychology, probably the only one, is that meaning might be an orienting reflex. Yeah. Which would be insane. Yeah. It's not yet proven. I don't know what you would need to do to prove it. Mm-hmm. And he also talked about how, like, nihilism is a powerful and true argument, right? Like,
absolutely.
What difference am I going to make out of I think we brushed on it last podcast.
But I think we did.
But to go back on the goals, goals are good to create. No, I would say goals are good to get a sense of how to organize yourself, how to address yourself. Yeah. Goals will teach you a lot of things. I would say if you have, depending on your goals, it could help you negotiate better. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Depending on your goals are going to help you a lot, and is going to help you develop as a person for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But you don't want to set unrealistic expectations when it comes to reaching the goals, because when you do reach it, you'll probably be disappointed because, I thought this goal was going to fix this and fix that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Goal gives you something to drive for, to strive for in life, for sure. That's why it's important to have goals. Mm-hmm. And why it's even more important to break them down into realistic steps. Yeah. So that you're able to visually see your progress, Like, let's say you journal steps, like, let's say, quick example, I want to go to college. Well, okay, what do you need to do for that? Yeah. Okay, well, one step, take this course, like in high school, Yeah. Yeah. Take pre-U English. That's an easy step. Sign up. Okay, I did this. Next
cross
step.
It off.
Right, cross it off. So break it down into tiny steps, and so that you can visually see. You're gonna do your brain some good for sure.
Yeah, it will.
And I think we're so caught up in, you gotta have goals, and we forget about that core, which is meaning.
I like how you said the core, which is meaning, right? Because having the goals is something to work towards, but the pushing force and the thing that drives you to be able to achieve those is the purpose and meaning.
Mm-hmm. Ultimately, I would say that's like the final factor of what will drive you to the next level. Will be meaning and purpose.
Yeah, because you can. There might be a bit of an argument on. Yeah, well, my purpose is to reach my goals. What do you think?
Well, I would say, are your goals going to make it meaningful to you in your life?
Yeah.
Because purpose and meaning is two different things.
Yeah, it is.
So something can be purposeful. There's a purpose to it. But is there meaning in it?
Is it meaning?
And meaning it'll change for everyone. That's up to you to find what's your meaning.
It is.
You know what I mean?
And it does. It does.
And
change
it might change as you go about in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like your meaning at 22 might not be the same at 40.
No.
You don't know.
And that can change, right?
Oh, for sure. And I'd say that'd be completely perfectly normal.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would say meaning is something that you should you should always strive for.
Yeah.
You know?
And you won't always strive for. You won't always necessarily know what it is or be able to get it.
But if you feel fueled and driven,
yeah,
in the moment,
yeah, then take advantage of that.
Yeah, for sure.
And meaning will also always be there, like you were saying about the goals. You reach those goals, and then you look back and it's like, wow, well, that was like 20 years that I was reaching this goal, and it's not what I expected it to be at all. Like, what was the point of any of that?
Right.
But if you're living with meaning,
you'll never look back at meaning and be like, what the hell was I doing?
Yeah. Because no, you won't.
No. But certain goals that you were going for, because life is invariably changing.
Yeah.
You might look back and be like, why did I do all that? What was the purpose?
Yeah.
What was the meaning of that?
Yeah.
But you'll never question meaning, I don't think.
No, you won't. No.
And if you are, I would say then you didn't find it.
You didn't find your true meaning. You weren't true to yourself, maybe in a certain place, regarding whatever it be.
Okay, so another point I wanted to talk about meaning, not meeting.
I want to talk during a meeting about meaning.
Can we make a meeting about meaning? I've been wanting to talk to you about it.
I've been meaning to talk to you about it.
I should have
missed that.
I missed that boat. I missed that boat. It's gone. The ferry boat is gone. Let me just... Okay. So, what I wrote down, is... Like, to me, when I think about meaning, I don't even think it's optional in life. I think it's an instinct.
Yeah.
Like, for example... go ahead.
So, you will find it without wanting to, without looking for it.
Right.
Like, sometimes you'll just
for
stumble
sure.
across it.
You'll just stumble across it. Which is why you should strive for different sorts of experience.
Yeah.
Because you just never know when you might find it.
And push yourself out of your comfort zone, too, in those different experiences.
Absolutely.
That's,
you'll never find... Well, you'll have a hard time finding meaning in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because you already know all that shit.
Well, exactly.
So it's like...
And it'll always be the same stuff.
Right.
And you're just repeating yourself, and you'll never really find... Yeah, like you said, you already know it. It's nothing different. Nothing that's... And it's only... Everything, I guess, in a way, is originally out of your comfort zone until you develop.
Oh, for sure.
Until you expand what you consider something you're comfortable with.
100%. I mean, just think, when you were first born, everything was out of your comfort zone. Exactly. Right, so... Like,
even something as simple as riding your bicycle.
Yeah.
You weren't comfortable doing that the first time.
Oh, for sure.
And now, and I hope, your meaning hopefully isn't riding a bicycle.
I mean, if it is,
but that's what I mean.
If it is, you know what I mean.
If it is, more power to you. I wish.
For sure, man. And I don't think you can go through life however long you're gonna live. Let's say 70, 80 if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Can't make it that far without meaning.
No, and if you do, you'll be miserable. That's the thing. Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't want to
physically make it.
Yeah,
but not
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You can physically make it, but mentally you might be not the person you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You might become resentful. You know, you might become a liar,
and that's
you could just a bunch of negative things.
And that's looking. It's keeping an eye out for and thinking about future you. Because in that moment when you're there and maybe you're not who you wanted to be, you won't know that that's not who you wanted to be.
Right.
Right. So you'll think, oh, this is good. This is just how it is. Life's shit.
Right. And let's say, let's take a very popular expression, this is meaningless, or my life is meaningless. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Well, that means you lost the fight.
Yeah.
The spark isn't there anymore. The fire in your heart, it's gone.
Yeah.
Right? Very powerful.
It is.
And to if there's anyone that would say, why should I, why is it so important to find meaning? Well, again, this life is very harsh.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard. And everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But I would say it's even harder than you think. Because we all know it's harsh and hard.
Yeah.
Life.
But things happen that you're like, I can't believe it got worse.
COVID-19.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Who would have expected this? And we all know that life was fucking hard.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we can't even go outside.
No.
You lost your job.
Yeah. Already still dealing with the things you were dealing with, but now this thing was
now it's on top of that, and thankfully we live in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been much easier for Canadians than other people around the world.
Absolutely.
Even if you start comparing just to the United States, not to get too much into COVID,
mm-hmm.
but they at first they got one stimulus check, that's it, $1,200, bang.
That's it.
And the people that qualified in Canada, if you were eligible, it was like $500 a week or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of a one-time $1,200.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's still a tragedy,
mm-hmm.
but it's like, at least it's not, could be worse. Again.
They could be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Again, just to prove my point. And yeah, so as I already said, life is hard. We all know that, but it's even harder because there's unpredictable events that'll happen throughout life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
stuff you just got to deal with. You don't have a choice. I was going to say you ain't
sure.
got a choice but to deal with it. You don't have a choice but to deal with a lot of things, right?
Right.
It just gets thrown on you, and either you fight it and work with it,
mm-hmm.
or you just let it take over and not much happens.
No, exactly. And another important part too is speaking about finding your own meaning. Don't start comparing your life to others.
No.
And what others have found meaning in.
Mm-hmm. Because
that's not you.
No.
Focus on you.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're not going to find meaning. Or it's going to be more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, social media has that power where everything can seem fine.
Mm-hmm.
And people are selecting and choosing what you see. And that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
For sure. And you definitely got to realize the impacts it can have on your own life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's crazy.
And so dealing with those challenging things, like what gets you through that, right?
Right.
And that's what we're talking about.
Meaning.
It's meaning.
And what does meaning, let's break it down a bit. What does meaning bring in your life? Mm-hmm. Well, I would say, off the top of my head, I would say it brings motivation.
How many times have maybe a drinking game, every time we say meaning, take a shot?
I wouldn't be talking right now. That's all I could say. If I was playing that game, I would have been sloshed already. So, what does meaning bring into your life? I would say it brings motivation. I would say meaning brings satisfaction.
Yeah.
I would say it'll bring happiness.
Mm-hmm.
It can bring work ethic, right? Because when you find meaning, you'll want
work
to
ethic
do it.
is a big thing with meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's go look at the other side of the aisle. What will chaos bring?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Chaos will bring resentfulness.
Mm-hmm.
It can bring depression.
Yeah.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
And if it gets bad enough, right? Death, suicide.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not. No.
It just goes to show you how unbearable chaos actually is.
Yeah.
You can't live in chaos.
No.
And
again, you can physically, but mentally.
If you're living in chaos 24/7,
yeah. Mentally,
I don't think you'll be able to live your whole life in chaos.
No. No, it's too.
I don't know, man.
It's too
I
much
don't
of an
know.
extreme.
Yeah.
But it would be because mentally you can't.
Right. And for example, you're shooting for a goal, right? You've got a goal in mind, and then an obstacle comes your way. The part that's going to matter is what you do when that obstacle arises, right? Are you going to learn from that and potentially change your ways? Are you going to give up? Or are you going to be rigid, so rigid that you'll just hang on, to the same goal or to the same solution to reach that goal?
Yeah.
Even if the obstacle's in front of you, you're like, no, I'm not changing my ways. And then when help actually comes along, you're too rigid to let go. And then you drown.
Yeah.
And then you're also done.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
definitely stay, I would say that's why you need to strive for meaning, is to stay away from chaos.
Yeah, and we glossed over it, but you said that the opposite of meaning is dissatisfaction. Is that what you said?
Did I?
I don't know if it was dissatisfaction. It was another word that you used, but it was something to say you're not satisfied, or you're not right.
Resentfulness?
Resentfulness. That's the word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because you start to resent everything because it's you against the world in that scenario, right? And everything's up against you.
Yeah.
And there's no point in fighting, because it's not a battle you can win, so why bother fighting?
Right. And then along with that could come along, the victim game. Hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Very powerful negative things that can send your life spiraling down quicker than you can say hello.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So definitely scary stuff.
And the thing that will bring you out of that spiral would be to find the meaning.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
I mean, it all comes back to it. It's not, but it
loops back.
It's something that we're crossing through, crossing over, I guess, and saying a lot. It's something people can strive their whole life to look for.
Right.
One time.
So that brings me to my next point, is that hits with a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Is because you're going through life, right? And you haven't found meaning. So when you truly start thinking about it, let's say in a negative life, that means all of your collective efforts have yet to find meaning. And that packs a punch.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It does.
And again, when we talked about it hits with a certainty of truth, again, that can
boy, does that ever
definitely make you head down that same route.
Yeah, definitely. And living with meaning and working with it also helps you live in the moment, because I mean, personally, I think that, I don't know if it maybe is a goal to live in the moment, for me and some other people, but living in the moment and enjoying life for what it is, not for what it should be. Meaning will help.
What it shoulda, coulda, woulda,
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Should, could, would.
Yeah.
Be. That will ease. I guess it'll ease the pain of not of the difficult. It'll ease the difficulty of finding your meaning, because it's just not overthinking stuff, just slowing things down and not trying to slow down the chaos.
Right. Taking life in.
Yeah.
For what it is.
Yeah.
And realizing that. And also,
not what it, I mean, we said it, but not, because there's so many people that are be like, it should be this, and there's definitely room for that.
Oh,
because there's always
doesn't
room for
mean
change.
there's, oh, absolutely. And there should be.
No, yeah.
And systems should be revamped and looked into and investigated, and change should always be something to strive for sure.
But you can't be banking, I guess, on the fact of that change, or making it so that all you can see is that.
Right.
Because
that would be neglecting, I would say, personal responsibility.
Yeah, neglecting personal responsibility, and neglecting,
like banking on the idea of this is gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Speculating
on that, neglecting that, and also neglecting the good parts of your life too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
right.
Easily.
Like if you're focusing on what it should be and not living life as it is,
everything will just boom, boom,
it
boom right in front of you.
By.
Oh yeah,
and you don't see it.
No,
it's just like you're blind, driving with your eyes closed, right?
Right.
And not looking out and seeing all the flowers. I mean, we're coming to springtime, so seeing all the flowers bloom and just little things, right? Like,
yeah, that's again one thing. All of this shitstorm has taught me is being I took way too many things for granted. That's number one.
That's something that I wanted to say when you said the pandemic came, because there's every little thing that I can think of.
Oh yeah,
that life was before.
It's limited now.
Took for granted.
Oh yeah, and another big important part is, and we had touched on it last podcast, is again, you don't want to create a multi-dimensional problem. So for example, like something might happen in your life. It's a problem, but if you open the window and you overreact and you give that problem way too much attention, or whatever it is, then that invites other problems from other parts of your life, and then all of a sudden,
and it piles
10
on
problems,
to each other,
right?
And it becomes one big problem,
or multiple
little ones, which is ultimately the same thing.
Multiple big ones. Who knows?
Multiple big ones. So yeah.
But it's like you don't want to open that gate to leave space for more problems to come in. Right? You want to be able to regulate yourself enough so that you're able to respond to the problem probably in the most efficient way as possible. Yeah. You don't want to blow it out of proportion.
No, absolutely.
For sure.
But it's also not only living as it is now and living how things are, because that, I feel like, without knowing what your meaning is and finding your inner, it's something that brings you happiness, internal happiness, like real deep internal happiness,
right,
makes you numb, because you're just living life as it is. And it's just living not living to live, living because you have to live, not living because you have to live, not living to live.
Right. And to do the things that you want to do. Yeah. No,
I didn't want to say living to want to. I didn't want to say living, to want to live. Does that so living because you have to live, or living? Next topic. No, it's.
I've heard the word living now so much times in a span of 30 seconds, where I'm just like, my brain right now is just living.
What's living? Who's living? Why are we living?
Who's living? Am I living just to live, or are you living just to live? Are we living to live?
But what is living?
Shit.
That laugh.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. Because it's numbing. You're just going through the motions.
Oh, it's dull. You feel lost.
And that'll take the goals away, and it can also I feel like it can strip your meaning from you too.
Oh, for sure. And with that, it strips away your potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're limiting yourself, for sure. For sure.
And people, again, I mean, it's a real difficult thing to self-diagnose yourself with. Not really diagnose, but understand that that's what's happening. And even have somebody else to figure out, because you need to be true to yourself. Like you need to know that this is what made me feel good, or this is what made me feel fulfilled. Because it's some, and I struggle with this too. It's stuff that is not necessarily people publicly find meaning with and really are passionate about. But me myself being passionate about them, sometimes I feel like, well, why am Why I'm so passionate about it, then why aren't other people as passionate about it? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I feel like I just did a complete 180 in that sentence there, but
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, that's very powerful, and how you can find something intriguingly brilliant, and other people it's just kind of like
So like,
don't need
is
that.
there something? So I mean, I guess that might be anxiety too. Is there something that's wrong? Like with
I would say yeah. I mean, if you're overthinking it,
Mhm.
like if you're really digging down each and every single one of your interests, and you're like why am I so? If you're like, again, yeah, if you're breaking down each and every single one of your interests, and you're like, why the hell am I so interested in this? Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Like I started doing that when I got so interested in like Viking history.
Yeah.
Things like that. I was like,
Like it's stupid.
like it's not gonna.
I'm not saying
ever.
it's stupid.
No, I know. No, but
you think
in your
to
head,
yourself, you're like, oh, it's stupid. Like, why is this?
Oh yeah. Well, in my head, I'm like, where the hell is this gonna bring me?
It doesn't matter though.
Like, I'm not gonna be a historian.
No, but it doesn't
I'm not
matter.
gonna write a book.
Right.
Right.
Like ultimately, it doesn't matter if that
makes me happy.
If that's what makes you happy.
Reading those kind
who
of
cares?
books. It's like, yeah, no, exactly.
But it's getting over the who cares.
Getting over it. Yeah, for sure. And that's why I'm now 11 books deep.
No, there you go.
Because I was like,
Screw it.
All right. No,
I can be a Viking if I want to.
Yeah. And that's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that is anxiety.
Yeah.
For sure. Because you're worried about what other people think.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's just creating that pressure, and it's becoming
there's so many
overwhelming.
different forms of like anxiety, because like there's real like debilitating. Is debilitating a word?
I have no idea.
Real like crushing anxiety. There's the light anxiety like that. There's
oh yeah,
thinking.
like there's definitely positive anxiety.
Absolutely.
And
you
that
need
helps
that
you
anxiety.
perform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's say you're going to present something to either like a work meeting, or you're getting in front of the school and doing a speech or whatever. And that anxiety is going to help you perform and to get you going.
Yeah, definitely.
But when you're talking about that anxiety that weighs you down and so that you're not able to get out of bed, well, I would say that's like chronic anxiety.
Oh yeah. That's something that's serious, definitely. And so but pushing through, so the good anxiety, as we'll call it, it's so getting over it and pushing past it in itself is super, it makes you feel good. It's super rewarding.
Yeah, because that's when you make things happen.
Yeah.
Is when you push through that gate.
Yeah.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, the feeling, that's, I mean, so being in my field, a lot of things when problem solving and you solve something, like it's really tough and finally cracking. And I don't know if it's like that for your field, but it's really like, it's super, I just feel like I want to share it to everyone.
Yeah.
Like it's super like I did this.
Yeah.
Even though it's something small. And
sure. Hey, it doesn't
people
matter.
won't like. It's like
they won't understand, or
no,
unless they're speaking your language.
Yeah.
Computer language,
Yeah.
But very good point.
But it's not even just like computer. It's just anything that you really figure out and brings you. It's the same thing of brings you that immense happiness.
Yeah.
That you're like,
that you just want to share. It's
just like
anyone and
so
everyone.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And like, and you feel like again, I feel like everyone cares the same as I do.
Yeah.
But then you think you're like, nobody really gives a shit
like,
about that.
Yeah. And you can either let that make decisions for you, or you can just be like,
yeah,
doesn't matter. I like it.
Yeah.
Again,
and that's the point,
right?
Of living as it is. Like, I like it, so be it.
And I would say that's one of the most important things about limiting your time on social media, is because you'll get stuck in that loop where it's like, let's say I'll share a personal experience.
Okay.
Like, because I'm not really afraid to post anything on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I've like things that just come out of nowhere. Like the one time I posted a picture of Yennefer.
Yeah.
From The Witcher.
Yeah.
And like,
90% of the people that are listening don't know what that is.
no, exactly.
It's a video game, and it's a female character from a video game.
Right.
A female love interest in a video game.
Right. And books and a TV show now. And yeah, it's much bigger now. But so I'll share things that interest me.
Yeah.
And if I were in a bad state of mind, like those pictures got like, I don't know, it was like maybe 20 likes.
Yeah.
I could have focused in on that 20 likes and be like,
why don't people like this? I like this.
what the hell? You guys don't share my interests? Like, what the hell's going? No, I just shared it because I wanted
it's your
to.
stuff.
Yeah.
If they don't want to follow you,
unfollow.
unfollow
Like,
you.
I just really don't care.
You're sharing
I'm
what you're
sharing it to
passionate
you
about.
because I like this thing.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah. There
Right.
it is.
And we got away from that in social media where it's like you're only trying to post things that'll please other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. If you're gonna use social media, at least post things that you truly want to post.
Well, it can also be a mixture, right?
Oh yeah, well for sure.
So like it can be like, okay, people will enjoy this. Sometimes that's good.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like the extreme where it's where it's like either, maybe I gotta wear this or I gotta do this certain thing to get this many likes.
Mm-hmm.
No, if you want like, I know a lot of people like this, so let's post that.
Yeah.
Let's say like Beechwood Donuts.
Yeah.
Everyone loves those.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
But it's just if you're, I guess, like chasing for those likes or whatever, and if you don't get to it, you're kind of like, starts bothering you and that anxiety starts triggering in. And I felt that.
Oh yeah.
Like when I first started in social media.
Yeah.
And when I was younger.
Yeah.
I'm still fucking young.
Yeah.
But a little more mature now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, like it'd be like checking my phone, refresh,
Just refreshing.
Like,
what's happening? What's happening?
And then it's like I look back at it now and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
thank God.
Yeah.
I just post and that's it.
Yeah. Because you want to.
Right.
There's not much more to it.
But that's why I would think it's important to limit your time, is because it can suck you up in that trap real quick, where you're gonna start comparing your life to others. You're gonna start living it. Maybe you can even go even more extreme, and you're gonna start living a fake life on social media,
Or even
just to make
applying that
yourself
fake
feel
life,
better.
Even applying that fake life to yourself.
Going
Yeah.
the extra step, yeah, like
because
you said.
I'm sure that happens.
Dude,
it does
there's
happen.
7 billion people in this world, of course.
It does happen. Like those people on TikTok that are. Have you seen that? The thing that I sent about the Loth video in one of the group chats we're in. The guy was I made $5 million on $2,000 in my investments, and here's how I did it. Follow me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
you always see just like
they're. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Yeah, their life is taken over. Like they don't even realize that it's not their life.
Right.
Right? Like it's way beyond. It's just 100% not who they are. It's not authentic.
Right. And when you don't live an authentic life, that has big impacts.
It does.
For sure.
It does.
That'd be a cool podcast.
Yeah, that would
to do
be.
Like the effects.
Note it.
Note it down. Where is it?
Yeah. No, it is. The
My
effects.
pen.
Yeah. Oh no. And yeah, it's just all consuming, and unfortunately that does happen. And I don't know. I guess it would be sort of a mixture. This is just me speaking of maybe hypothetically.
Sure.
Maybe it's a mixture of showing stuff that isn't what you are, not authentic to you, not stuff that you'd necessarily love, and then also getting a ton of positive feedback on it.
Right.
And that just fuels it. So why would
you stop?
If you keep doing that, and then you just keep doing that, and you lose touch of what, of who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
you don't want that.
No.
You don't want to feel lost.
No.
Feeling lost is, oh boy.
Yeah. Because I mean, at that point, you won't know. You'll know there's something not there, or maybe in the moment you won't while all this is happening. But at the end of it,
when you have time to reflect, paralyzing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you won't even know where to start.
No. You'll be you'll be feeling lost for sure.
So, and I guess that's the that was a complete tangent from meaning. Doesn't matter though, because the podcast, it's about mental health and finding your happiness.
Hey, and I was gonna say, you know what's fun about YouTube?
What's that?
Is like we can do things like,
and they'll see it.
you know. So sorry for for all of you who are listening
I guess you also watch the YouTube
exclusively
video.
on Spotify. You might not. It might not be as funny.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, "What the hell they're laughing about?" But
we laugh about nothing sometimes. It's fine.
yeah.
So I mean, so that point, tying it all together, I guess it would be. There's also something that can happen where you find a false sense of meaning. What do you think about that?
I would probably say that's definitely possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would it be good or bad? I don't know.
I think it would be
Maybe good in the moment,
Yeah.
but once you realize it's a false meaning,
exactly.
that's when it would start getting dangerous, I would
Uh-huh.
say. But at least I guess the positive would be in the moment. It's pretty meaningful to you.
Yeah.
But I would have to do some research on that. Like,
Yeah.
does false meaning? I'm sure it exists, but what are the impacts? Like,
That's
what?
definitely something to at least look at.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe we'll
figure
brush
it
on that next episode.
yeah, false meaning, because that's something I just thought of. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, guys. Well, I hope you all enjoyed episode, what is this, number 9?
number 9,
Number
episode
9.
number 9.
This is a lot of fun. Thank you for everyone who is supporting us. And thank you in advance for those who will continue. It's very much appreciated.
Absolutely.
We love bringing these to you guys.
It's not even bringing them. It's just being able and fortunate enough to have conversations, because this is something that we
Are passionate about.
Just like having the conversations and just diving deep into the deep stuff.
Yeah.
But also being able to share it with people to voice their opinion on it, or maybe we did something too far, right?
Right.
And let us know about that, or
Who knows?
and just like starting conversation too.
Yes.
So
That's the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to, we got to get away from getting fired up and attacking one another, and just
also
discussing about it,
and also being scared to discuss something that
even if it's like quote unquote taboo,
uh-huh.
and
yeah
can't be afraid
no
to have conversation. It's regardless of the subject. Some subjects are going to be tougher than others, absolutely, but doesn't mean that they should be
ignored.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So again, thank you so much. Never hesitate to reach out to us, DM us on Instagram.
Any ideas that you have for future stuff that we want to talk about? I know that
Absolutely.
we have
and thank you. Some viewers did reach out for ideas.
yes,
So
that's what I was
thank
going
you
to say.
So much, yeah.
I know that episodes in the coming future, I'm not sure exactly when, will be about cryptocurrency. Somebody brought up
Yeah.
to us, so that's something
That'll be
we're wanting to. It's something that maybe we didn't think of, but it's something to dive deep into
definitely
and do
a
research
phenomenon,
on.
and it's something to dig in.
So
for sure.
yeah, any ideas are welcome.
Yeah.
I'm sure that pretty much everything we'll want to really dive deep into.
Listen, I'm not joking when I say that I'm ready to talk about anything on a table.
Yeah, I mean, given that our second podcast was about conservatives and liberals, I guess that's pretty out there.
Well, that's why we wanted to start off with a bang, just to like put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to discuss hard subjects.
Yeah, absolutely.
Twitter, everything's in the link tree. Very nicely organized. We got our YouTube now, so go subscribe to that. You can see it live. Well, not live, but you know what I mean.
You can see us.
You know what I mean. To those of you who are watching YouTube, you know what I mean. All right. So thank you so much. Always a pleasure. That was our 2 cents. And take care.
Take care. Have a good one.
Ciao.